Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 and our Newcastle United series at a very exciting time. If we have a look at the league table, you can see we are second place behind Manchester United, 2 points behind them at the moment, but at the end of last episode we were actually top of the league for about one day before Liverpool were beaten 3-0 by United. Ordinarily I would hope that Liverpool would be able to halt United's advance, but this time, with Liverpool down in 12th place in the league, it was always going to be a struggle, and we do have to continue and push on. We only need 6 more wins, and that would guarantee us the title, because if we look at our team schedule, then you can see we are still to play Manchester United away from home right at the end of the season, which will be a title-deciding game no matter what. But today we've got more pressing concerns in that we need to take on 5th place Spurs at home as they try to chase down a Champions League spot. We've then got Manchester City at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. And then we finish off at home against Arsenal in the first leg of our Champions League semi-final. All of this on the back of a win, or at least unbeaten streak that goes back quite some time. We've only lost one game, which was to Manchester United in the Carabao Cup final since the 22nd of January. So we're in sensational form, and we just needed to continue for a few more games. I think there's only 6 league games and then 4 or 5 possible cup games. So 10 or 11 games left at most this season. That's all we need to keep this run going for. And that starts today against Spurs. We've got Keane, Sanabria and Pinamonti up front. Andre and Grujic are in central midfield with Masuaku, Otamendi, Holding, Lemos and Carmona in defence with Heaton in goal. Lloris sends the ball out. 5 minutes gone in this game. He's looking for Lamela, who picks out Munir. Adrian Silva back to Lamela. Dele Alli into Jack Wilshere. I'm not sure that switch would happen in real life, but it's Serge Gnabry, another former Arsenal player here, as Harry Kane picks up the ball. He's got an overlap on his left. He does pick out Davies now. Puts the cross in, Holding gets it away. Wilshere's onto it now. Dele Alli tackled well by Andre, who keeps the ball as well. Holding then looks to launch it forward, and Pinamonti's brought it down. He's got players to his left if he can get the cross in. He does. Sanabria's in there. Cleared out. Keane chases after it. He's got Haidara or Masuaku up there with him. Masuaku swings the cross in. Carmona's there, and it's just over the bar. Grujic back to Holding. Big pitch forward, and Masuaku picks it out so well. He's got a good crossing position. He looks for Carmona, and this time Carmona does not miss. It's the same situation, but at the back stick this time, Carmona powers that header in, and he makes it 1-0, and that does, as it stands, move us up to the top of the Premier League. Masuaku's corner. Puts across to the back stick. Lemos is there. It comes all the way out to Sanabria. Now Grujic. Into Pinamonti, turns, can't finish it, but Sanabria's there with the loose ball, and he finds the bottom corner for 2-0. 20 minutes gone, it's 2-0, it could easily be 3, and we are absolutely in control. Serge Gnabry switches it out to Lamela. Spurs looking to get something back here, but Otamendi intercepts the ball so well, and he releases Masuaku all at the same time. Now Keane back to Masuaku, into Sanabria, beautiful play, excellent finish, and it's 3-0 with 23 minutes gone, and they are absolutely sinking without a trace. What a performance from the team in such a big game. Munir with the throw-in, picks out Adrian Silva. Now it's Jack Wilshere. Dele Alli into Kane, back to Wilshere, a little English triangle. It's Gnabry who tries to volley it first time, and Holding picks up the ball. Heaton to Otamendi, Lemos, back to Holding. A strange little triangle to play. Carmona over the top towards Pinamonti. He's got Sanabria, but Adrian Silva cuts that out so well. Now Wilshere back to Ben Davies. Serge Gnabry puts it in towards Harry Kane's chest. Wilshere switches it out to Lamela. Adrian Silva, you can sense a ball over the top coming, but instead it's Gnabry. Loses out to Carmona, terrible play, and Sanabria plays through Pinamonti. He's got 2-3 players arriving, puts it over, Keane's in there, and Keane's header just goes over the crossbar. Otamendi plays it down the line for Masuaku. Having a run at the defender. Cross ricochets around. Keane gets it. Now Andre into Sanabria, and he snaps it into the bottom corner. It's 4-0, and Sanabria, of all people, has got a hat-trick just 38 minutes into this game. Sensational stuff from Sanabria. A late replacement for Cutrone, who's on the bench and fit. And what a big call that was. Lamela to Munir. Cross goes in. Kane's in there, and it's just over the top. Last second corner goes in. Otamendi's there. Lemos is there, and he's bundled it over the line. I'm not sure if it's going to be given here. It has been given. Wasn't quite the reaction from the referee I expected, but we've made it 5-0 at half-time, and Spurs are without fitness and without hope. Pinamonte's picked up the ball here on the right flank. He's put a cross in early. Sanabria's there. It's off the post, and Delete just about gets that away. Carmona's throw in. Goes towards Sanabria. Still on the pitch. We've made all 3 substitutions now as well. Drinkwater gets the ball. Plays it across to Rob Holding. He finds Masuaku. Now Drinkwater. Bit slower play here, but Beck has got it on the left flank. Plays it down the line. I don't think Gallagher's going to get to that. Munir has it, but Gallagher has robbed him there. Munir does fortunately get the ball back. Dele Alli onto Memphis. Puts the ball into Eriksson. Now it's Kane. Looking a bit dangerous here, Spurs. I would like to keep the clean sheet if we can. It's Davies. Trying to come down the left flank. Pulls it back. Eriksson's there. They look totally directionless here, Spurs. But Munir's got the ball. Finds Memphis. Now he can put a cross in. Does swing it towards the back stick. Gnabry's there. And he does ruin our clean sheet with that header. Well, there's no doubt we've absolutely destroyed Spurs today, 5-1. It's a day of big upsets because, well, not upsets, but big victories, because Manchester City also beat Arsenal 6-0, so it's not been a happy day in North London. But a 5-1 win is crucial at this point because it means we've only got 5 games left to play and we just have to keep winning. You can see Manchester United, a 64th minute winner by Victor Lindelof over West Ham, who are 4th as well. So Spurs not losing out any ground despite the big loss today. Drinkwater gets a big bonus because we qualified for the Champions League, which is nice. And we get a budget of £79 million and 1.9 million a week, which is quite helpful because it was our wage budget that was struggling before. But if we look at the board, then you can see it does give us a little bit of room. We've got about 100 grand or so left in the budget now, but 79 million. Unfortunately, it's this wage budget issue. They will not let us build up the wages whatsoever. But I just want to have a quick look at the Premier League table at this point, because as you can see, we scored 93 goals this season, which is an absolute contrast to Man United because they've only scored 61, but they've also only conceded 16, and we've shipped 42 goals, which is more than the likes of Everton and West Ham, who are just below us as well. So really interesting, but we are without doubt the highest scorers in the league, 20 goals nearly clear of Manchester City. And if we do just put the points totals back up there, you can see it's a big gap now over 3rd place. We're guaranteed Champions League football with 5 games to go, which is pretty nice. Arsenal heavily beaten as well. I don't think City are going to catch us. It's all about whether we can close that gap, and at the moment we've got the goal difference. It is semi-final after semi-final now for the rest of this episode, because we've got Manchester City at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. The only change in this game is that Moise Kean is out and Cutrone has come in. Worth having a quick look at Sanabria after that hat-trick, because he's been a bit of a fringe player for us, but he has got 18 goals so far this season, which is not a bad return for a player mostly coming off the bench. 6 assists in there as well, and a 7.29 rating. Already beaten last season's totals for goals after the 3 goals in the last match. But I'm hoping that he can produce something similar today to dispatch Manchester City, who are high on that 6-0 win over Arsenal. No other changes to the team. It's exactly the same one that went out in the last game, except for that Cutrone for Keane switch. So I'm hoping we can pick up where we left off and get a few goals early on to see off Man City. Romagnoli with the free kick here. First highlight of the game. Alexandro puts the ball into Gundogan. Now De Bruyne. It's a very strong team. They've got Aguero back to Saul. Bernardo Silva. Loses the ball and Grujic intercepts so well there. It's Sanabria playing the ball in behind. Pinamonte controls well. Big tackle, but it's going to run to Cutrone. And he fires it through the hands of Donnarumma in the Man City goal. And we've got a 1-0 lead after a sensational finish there. So lucky that the tackle on Pinamonte broke through, but Cutrone was clinical. Stones plays it forward. Carrasco's got it. We've been lucky here. That change for Keane to Cutrone definitely doing the business for us. But here's Alexandro on the left flank, puts the cross in. Heaton catches it well. Been a little bit shaky the last few games. In the last match, he only had one shot to face and it went into the back of the net. So I'm hoping he'll be stronger today. But Masuaku plays it over the top. Cutrone gets onto it. Players to his right. He puts the cross to the back stick. Pinamonte's there on the volley. 2 chances. And it goes begging as the ball is cleared away just as Sanabria tried to get it in. Well, it says a lot that we're getting into games like this against clubs of the size of Man City, and I am not worried about taking them on anymore because I think we've got such a good chance of winning the games. And you can see here how well we're performing with that tackle by Carmona. Pinamonte switches it to Cutrone. There's an overlap and he's picked out Masuaku. 3-4 in the box, looks for Sanabria and he's just popped it over the top. Masuaku sends it over and Pinamonte's in an ocean of room. He brings it down and strikes it against the post. Carmona following up has a shot. It's cleared out by Danilo and somehow it is still only 1-0. Second half has begun now with just 3 minutes into the game. Man City are the team on the attack at the moment. We are somehow holding on to this 1-0 lead, but Danilo tries to get the ball in. Sanabria has won it and now Cutrone is on the spin. He's put the ball over the top and Pinamonte, as he does so often, gets in behind and he's put it through the keeper's legs. It's 2-0 now against Manchester City at Wembley and we are heading towards the FA Cup final. Stones sends the ball out to Carrasco. Just over half an hour left. De Bruyne trying to pick out Carrasco, who's chasing after it. Keeps the ball in. Gets the cross in. Holding clears it out. Gundogan, good position. Puts a dink in. And it's well saved by Heaton, but the flag is up. Corner from Masuaku. Puts it in to the edge of the area. It's Sanabria. Finds Pinamonte. Strikes it, but he's just lashed it high and wide. He needed a little bit more composure. Masuaku with another corner. Again, out wide to Sanabria. He finds Grujic. Ball comes out to Sanabria again. Good control. Running in. Has a strike. It's denied by Donnarumma. And Lemos probably isn't going to do much from that position. He does manage to pick out a pass to Otamendi. 2 centre-backs linking up so well there. And with just over half an hour left, I think we need to make a couple of changes. Possibly even our excellent fullbacks. It's Haidara coming on. And then we're a little bit tight for options. But I think it's going to need to be Keane coming on for Cutrone to see out this last 25 minutes. Corner from Grujic. Another goal here would surely kill the game. Otamendi's header and it's picked out by Donnarumma. Ilic on the attack for Man City. It's a good counter-attack. He's got plenty of support there and he picks out Aguero with a great ball in behind. Aguero in on goal and fortunately he's missed the target. Haidara dinks the ball forward and Keane brings it down. The 2 substitutes linking up. Keane pushes it wide, gets across in Pinamonte's there, but it drops out, and now Ilic is counter-attacking. A goal for Man City would really make for a tense finale, but Holding wins it. There's a through ball on for Pinamonte. He's in behind, can have a strike. He does. Donnarumma tips it wide. Well, it's just 4 minutes of added time to see out, and this 2-0 lead is surely going to carry us all the way to Wembley. Big tackle there in defence for Man City, but it's too little too late. We've managed to shut out Manchester City in an FA Cup semi-final. And as I said earlier today, we are no longer concerned about playing these big teams because we do get the results. If anything, we're winning more of these games than we're losing. And the only real question is, can we beat Manchester United? Because they are the team that beat us in that League Cup final. And they are the team that we're trying to compete with for the title this season. And as you can see in the competition screen, we are into the final. We're probably going to play Chelsea in the FA Cup, but we still got to play Man United. They're now 5 points clear of us, but we have a game in hand. If we win that game in hand, we beat Manchester United at Old Trafford, the title is almost certainly going to be ours. But it's a lot to ask when we've still got that FA Cup final and up next, the Champions League semi-final. Well, there was such a big result against Man City, and we've been helped even more by the fact that Everton actually beat Chelsea 3-0, which means in the FA Cup final we will be playing Everton for the chance to win our first major bit of silverware for quite some time. If we have a look at the club and their competitions history, you can see the last big competition that we won was the FA Cup back in we won the Europa League back in 1969, or the Cup Winners' Cup was it back then? We got the FA Cup there as well, and I think we won the Intertoto Cup back in about 2003 or 4, but we've not won anything for a very, very long time. And it's actually been over 50 years at this point in the game, so that is a huge opportunity for us to win a major piece of silverware. But there's another chance now because we've got Arsenal in this Champions League semi-final first leg. We've got a very strong team going out there, but it is a tired team. I'm hoping Arsenal are going to be low on confidence after being crushed by Manchester City in their last game, and also the fact that they've been struggling in the league all season with a constant question about whether Wenger will continue to be in charge of the club. And I think at the moment he is still in charge, which again is absolutely insane because they've done so badly this season. 7th place at the moment. But as you can see from our team selection, we've got Sanabria, Cutrone and Pinamonte up front. Drinkwater has come into midfield with Andre. We've got Masuaku, Otamendi, Holding, Lemos and Carmona in defence with Heaton in goal. Huge match kicking off here, and I can just hear the Champions League music going through my head in this huge game. We have not had the best of times against Arsenal. They've won 5, we've won 2 in my time in charge. This is a huge opportunity for us to try and rectify that. The home game is so important that we don't concede here and lose that away goal, because we need to try and get a 1 or 2 goal to nil lead, and then 1 goal at the Emirates will be more than enough to see us through. And at the moment we've had a couple of shots on target, but Arsenal having shots left, right and centre as well. 5 for them, but ours are certainly a lot more accurate. With half an hour gone, we've already got 4 yellow cards. The entirety of what could be called our midfield now booked, and it is going to be so nervous in that second half. Now 5 yellows at half time, and there's a chance that some of these players will be missing for the second leg as a result. But we've had no highlights in this first half. It's come to a 0-0 standstill, which I don't mind. If this game finishes 0-0, I will be reasonably happy with that. Most of the team reacting well to the team talk except for Heaton, and really he's a player we need to be on top of his game. You can see our stats are a lot lower than they normally are. Nobody over 7 except for Heaton, who's just ticked over it. Drinkwater in with a big tackle there, and it's exactly as we expected with all those yellow cards in the first half. Danny Drinkwater gets a second yellow, and we're now down to 10 men, which really does put a huge question mark over our ability to see this game out. And we're going to have to take Cutrone off and bring on James Milner. We don't have that much depth in midfield at the moment. I am also going to bring on Moise Keane, I think, for Sanabria, and see if that will change anything up front with some fresh legs. Now we're down to 10 men, but our job has become a lot harder. Here's Holding, sends it forward to Carmona. Andre in midfield, picks out James Milner, out towards Carmona again. Puts a cross in from deep. Keane arriving. Check with the mistake there, and it's just gone wide. Very nearly an own goal for Mustafi. And the first highlight nearly went so luckily in our favour. Otamendi can't win the header there, and Pinamonte chases after it. Masuaku puts a cross in. Keane isn't there. Milner shot blocked. Masuaku, good position. Can't get the ball in, and Kolasinac clears it away. There's just 15 minutes left to go in what has been a quite dull match, but given we're down to 10 men, I'm happy with that. If we can just get through with the clean sheet, I will be happy. And there's a highlight here with less than 10 minutes on the clock. Keane with the ball, finds Andre, but it's given away, and Ozil can launch the counter. Lozano sends it forward, Lacazette heads it on, Beck wins a header, Lemos brings it down, he needs to clear it away, Heaton does. Big clearance forward, Keane with the header. And now Andre, can we counter? Keane in towards Pinamonte, but not accurate enough. Beck doing a good job in defence. Header comes down, Milner to Andre, through to Pinamonte, out to Masuaku, somehow controls it, puts it over the top, Keane's in on goal, and he finishes it into the bottom corner 1-0, we're leading against Arsenal with 10 men in the Champions League semi-final. A huge goal for the team. How important could that be? But we have to hang on here and keep the clean sheet. 2 minutes of normal time left in what would be a sensational result with 10 men. Masuaku with the throw-in gives it away to Lacazette. He launches it forward as you expect them to do here. They need that away goal. Masuaku in towards Andre. He puts it into the middle for Milner. Over the top again. Keane's in behind. His fresh legs paying the difference here. But the effort is saved by Cech. Just a few seconds left now. We've been so close to a couple more goals in this game. After a really quiet first half. That's a loose pass. But it comes to Lemos. Milner nearly gives it away as well. We need that full-time whistle. The player's so tired at this point as Icardi attacks. Now Xhaka. Ball cut out well by Masuaku. And that should see us over the line. And what a sensational run of form we're on at the moment. This a huge win, and 1 goal at the Emirates will leave Arsenal needing 3, and they are really struggling for form at the moment. There's another chance here. Pinamonte with the ball finds Keane. There's an overlap for Masuaku. It's not over yet. Puts the ball to the back stick, and it's just been cleared out for a goal kick, and that will be the full-time whistle. I thought there might be a second goal there, but there it is. In what is almost certainly the biggest game in our club's history, we have managed to get a really important win and continue a sensational run of results. If we have a look at the schedule over the last 2 episodes, you can see we've beaten Spurs, City and Arsenal today, but we had 3 huge games, including against Atletico Madrid where we nearly won as well, and this unbeaten run stretching back to United just continues to go. Now next time out we will have the second leg of this Champions League semi-final. We've got Burnley at home in the Premier League, which is a must-win game, and then Watford away. But you can see we have not had a week's rest in quite a long time now, going all the way back to the start of April. So that's the entire month we've had a midweek fixture every week. And that is going to continue right the way up to the game against Liverpool. So we are going to be absolutely shattered as this goes forward. And with players like Drinkwater getting sent off, it is not being all that easy for us. So make sure to drop a like on this video if you enjoyed those 2 semi-finals. You should subscribe to the channel if you want to see how that second leg goes in the next episode in a couple of days' time. And make sure to support the channel on Twitter and Patreon using the links in the description. But until next time, see ya.